Hello everybody, my name is Bloody Pikachu, and today I am here to introduce to you the nominees for the Kotick Awards, aka the worst that gaming had to offer in 2023. Because how can you appreciate the good without first seeing the bad? While this year was notably very good for games, there are also some big standout titles for bad titles this year. We have a very exciting show ahead of us. Let's get into the nominees. Worst Narrative. While games can tell stories in ways that no other medium really can, sometimes there's just stories that aren't really worth telling. The nominees for Worst Narrative go to The Coffin of Andy and Lele, Fire Emblem Engage, Forspoken, Garden of Banban, and The Lord of the Rings Gollum. Worst Art Style. With new innovations and technical limitations being pushed to their fullest, games have looked better than they ever have before. However, not everyone is keeping up with the trends. The nominees for Worst Art Style go to Detective Pikachu Returns, Enchanted Portals, Garden of Banban, The Lord of the Rings Gollum, and Skull Island Rise of Kong. Worst Score and Music. There are simply some games that are just better played on mute, and these are such games. The nominees for Worst Score and Music go to Crab Champions, Honkai Star Rail, Redfall, Skull Island Rise of Kong, and Sonic Superstars. Worst Community Support. With the ongoing rise of live service games, devs are pushing stronger than ever to make sure that their game has a successful lifespan. However, there are some that do the opposite. The nominees for Worst Community Support go to Destiny 2, Fall Guys, F-Zero 99, Overwatch 2, and Super Smash Bros. Melee. Worst Community. On the flip side, there are some communities that get maybe a little too much and don't really know how to act. The nominees for Worst Community go to Hoyoverse, PlayStation Fanboys, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, and Xbox Fanboys. Worst Action. The nominees for Worst Action go to Atlas Fallen, Enchanted Portals, Forspoken, My Hero Ultra Rumble, and Skull Island Rise of Kong. Worst Adventure Game. The nominees for Worst Adventure Game go to Detective Pikachu Returns, Garden of Banban, The Lord of the Rings Gollum, Minecraft Legends, and Only Up. Worst RPG. The nominees for Worst RPG go to Eternights, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Fire Emblem Engage, Hogwarts Legacy, and Starfield. Worst Shooter. The nominees for Worst Shooter go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Counter-Strike 2, Exoprimal, Immortals of Avium, and Redfall. Worst Multiplayer Game. As games evolve, we naturally want to play them with more and more people. However, there's points where we just want to do anything else with our group of friends. The nominees for Worst Multiplayer Game are Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Everybody 1-2 Switch, Exoprimal, My Hero Ultra Rumble, and Redfall. Most boring. Whether it be through their story, gameplay, or a combination of both, these games simply bored us to tears and made us want to do anything else. The nominees for Most Boring Game are Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Minecraft Legends, and Starfield. most disappointing. Whether it be a lackluster sequel in a great series, it launched in a poor state, or it simply disappoints by its mere existence, these games disappointed all of us in one way or another. The nominees for most disappointing game are Fire Emblem Engage, F-Zero 99, Party Animals, Payday 3, and SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake. Worst DLC. The point of a DLC is to improve upon a game. However, you could argue that these only made them worse. The nominees for worst DLC are The Callisto Protocol Final Transmission, Destiny 2 Lightfall, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin, High on Life, High on Knife, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet The Teal Mask. Worst box art. They say not to judge a book by its cover. However, at points, we can't help but just stare at how awful these are. The nominees for worst box art go to Alone in the Dark Prologue, Everybody 1-2 Switch, Garden of Banban, NBA 2K24, and Spider-Man 2. Worst adaptation. Only in recent years have gamers really trusted studios to adapt their favorite games in other forms of media. However, these adaptations remind us of the dark days. The nominations for worst adaptation are Five Nights at Freddy's, Gran Turismo, Resident Evil Death Island, Tetris, and The Witcher Season 3. Least anticipated. 2024 seems to bring along another great selection of games for us to play. However, I think we can all assure that these will not be any of them. The nominees for least anticipated are Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Skull and Bones, Star Wars Eclipse, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Most improved sequel/studio. From games or studios that might previously find themselves on shows like these games have taken a big improvement from those and have found themselves in this category. The nominees for most improved sequel/studio go to Hi-Fi Rush from Tango Gameworks, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Octopath Traveler 2, Sonic Superstars from Arzest, and Street Fighter 6. And finally, through all the abhorrent and miserable games that 2023 had to offer, these 6 titles stand above the rest as the true worst games of the year. The nominees for worst game of the year go to Everybody 1-2 Switch, Garden of Banban, The Lord of the Rings Gollum, Only Up, Redfall, and Skull Island Rise of Kong. Well, that is it for our nominees. The Kotick Awards will be going live on December 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/BloodyPikachu, and will be later placed on youtube.com/@BloodyPikachu. I hope to see you all there. Remember to cast your votes using the link in the description before Sunday, November 19th. Take care, everybody.